Hello all, welcome to insightsias. Myself Nikhil, the political science IR and polity faculty from Insights. So we're continuing with our initiative, that is Think Before Viewing, and we are continuing with the theme, that is the history based questions. So let's quickly look into or go through the 5 questions of the day, and most of these questions today what we are discussing is from CSE, Civil Service Examination 2022. So in the first question of today, what we have is that in the Government of India Act 1919, the functions of the provincial government were divided into reserved and transferred subject. Which of the following were treated as reserved subjects? So they're asking you to identify which are reserved subjects. So what do you mean by reserved subjects? Those subjects which in 1919 they brought diarchy in provinces. So basically what does diarchy in provinces means? That the provincial subjects were divided into two lists: state list, reserved list and transferred list. Transferred list, the power will lie with the elected government and the governor, whereas the reserved list will lie with the governor and the executive council. So here, if you look into what is the logic you can use, administration of justice, land revenue, police, these are all very important subjects. Logically, you can think the British would have not transferred this to the Indians at large. But if you look at local self-government is dependent on finances and other things, and obviously that was transferred to that was a transferred subject, or you can say that was not a reserved subject. So if you look at the option, you have to identify which are reserved. So answer will be C, that is 1, 3 and 4. And the Government of India Act 1919 is also called as the Montagu-Chelmsford reforms. So the other thing you can also keep in your mind with respect to this is that you can see with the Government of India Act 1919, the other important provisions. One, they introduced diarchy. Second one, you can also see they extended the communal electorate or the separate electorate to Christians, Anglo-Indians in that regard. Women were also given voting rights under the Government of India Act 1919, but all women did not have voting rights. This was one of the other question they've asked on Government of India Act 1919. Then you can also see through the Government of India Act 1919, they also said at the end of 10 years, they're going to appoint a statutory commission to look into the functioning of the act. And that commission was not created at the end of 10 years, it was created in 8 years. In 1927 itself, it was none other than the Simon Commission. And you can say the Simon Commission was opposed by most of the political parties in India, but there were only two parties which accepted to work with Simon Commission. That was the Justice Party in the southern part of India, and the Unionist Party, which was in the northwest frontier province. So these are all the basic information that you can recollect with respect to this particular question. So answer for this question is C. Let's move on to the next question. It's a question on medieval history. The term phanum, it is referred to which of the following? The term phanum refers to coins. So this was largely prevalent in the Vijayanagar Empire. There's a mention of this term phanum also by a traveler called as Abdur Razak. So the answer for this question is B. So you can see there's a lot of questions they've asked on coins, clothing, etc. This is a repeated theme what we have seen in the previous year questions. This is also CSE 2022. Let's go into the next question. This question is on modern history. They've asked who are the following freedom fighters. They told Bharindra Kumar Ghosh, Jogesh Chandra Chatterjee, Raj Behari Bose, who are actively associated with Gadhar party. The answer is 3 only. It was Raj Behari Bose. So to have certain important points regarding Raj Behari Bose, one, you can say that he was part of the Azad Hind Fauj, and you can say he later handed over it to Subhash Chandra Bose. Then he was also associated with Indian Independence League. He also tried to assassinate Lord Hardinge, and the Japanese government has given the award Order of the Rising Sun to whom? To Raj Behari Bose. Now, what about the other two individuals who are not associated with Gadhar party? One is you have Bharindra Kumar Ghosh in that regard. He started this Bengali weekly called as Jugantar in that regard, and he also tried to assassinate a judge called as Douglas Kingsford, and he was also arrested in Alipur bomb case. And similarly, you have Jogesh Chandra Chatterjee, which is associated with Anushilan Samiti. So they have no connections with the Gadhar party. The Gadhar party, as you know, its activities was largely in Canada. They also established United India House and Swadesh Sevak Home in Vancouver in that regard. And Gadhar party, they used revolutionary nationalism to promote their idea. It largely comprised of the peasants and the ex-soldiers from Punjab region in that regard. So these are the points you need to remember in this question. Please remember the answer is D, that is 3 only. Now moving on to the next question. It is again an history question. They have asked, identify which of the following are Jain texts. So in this the answer will be B, that is 2 and 4. Nettipakarana is basically a Buddhist text which speaks about Theravada Buddhism, and you have Parishishta Parvan, which is a Jain text. It is written by Hemchandra. It speaks about Chandragupta's association with Jainism in that regard. And you have Avadhanakshakta. It is again a Buddhist text in that regard, so that can't be the answer. So 1 and 3 can't be the answer. The answer should be 2 and 4. And you have Trishakshasti Lakshana Mahapurana. It is written by Acharya Jaina Asena during Rashtrakuta rule. So the answer is B, that is 2 and 4. And this is a difficult question. These kind of questions can be only answered you have any kind of specific information. Otherwise, it is better to leave out these questions in the examination. Let's move into the last question for the day. The question is on Cripps proposal or Cripps mission. And as you know, the Cripps proposal came in which year? 1942. And what was the statements they have given? The Constituent Assembly would have members nominated by Provincial Assembly as well as Princely State. This statement is incorrect because they told they'll also make provisions for indirect elections from provincial assemblies. And any province which is not prepared to accept the new constitution would have right to sign a separate agreement with Britain regarding its future status. This is correct. So answer would be B, 2 only. Regarding with Cripps proposal, you can say Gandhi rejected the Cripps proposal. And what did Gandhi call Cripps proposal as? He called it as an outdated check. This was told by Gandhi. And you also have, they can ask which was the first time the British offered India Constituent Assembly. It was through August offer in 1940. They might also ask who was the first to demand Constituent Assembly. It was M.N. Roy in 1934. And when actually Constituent Assembly was created as part of the Cabinet Mission Plan? 1946. And please remember, the Indian Constituent Assembly was partly indirectly elected and partly nominated. The members from the provinces were indirectly elected. The members from the princely states were nominated by the princes. So these are the basic points that you need to remember regarding this question. So with this, we have come to an end of today's session. Tomorrow we'll be also taking up the series on themes on history. That will be the last day on history. The day after, I'll be starting with a new subject, a new theme. And the other point is that the tip of the day is that when you solve questions, don't just look at what is the answer that has been given. Also read about why your logic went wrong. So also try to look from, is there any logic that you can use it? So that will enable your thinking abilities, that enables you answer those questions where you have limited information. So friends, we'll meet tomorrow with a new set of questions. Till then, bye.